They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas, we got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and out. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas, we got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, gone clock in, gone clock in, gone clock in. like your quarterback. So my defense all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
you.
man West Coast in this boat.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. And for whatever reason, I got this. Let me see. What is that? I don't know what that is up in there, but that's weird to me. All right, but yeah, what up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building. Appreciate you guys for tuning in on this. Okay, fix that right there. All right, and we are live in the building on this. What is this? Is this Victory Monday?
Yeah, man. Now we're going by slow.
Yeah, it is, man. Last week just came by, went so fast, man. It was amazing. But this Victory Monday, I hope everybody went into work. You guys already know how we already do on Victory Monday, how you go to work. You got your chest up, nose to the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Brag points ready.
You know what I'm talking about? Because when you at the water cooler of life, you got to be like, this little polo. This little polo that I threw on here, yeah.
Yeah, because
you know
if Cowboy fan, you're around a bunch of haters, and
you already know, man. I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like, it'd be funny because Cowboy fans, it's like everybody in your job, you won't know what nobody is in your job. You don't know what team they is, but the day your team lose, everybody in the building know you a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
So all my people who work in the, I already know. So on Victory Monday, man, you need to strut up in that. You know what I'm talking about? Get your little strut on. I don't give a dang if it was, it beat the Detroit Lions. We beat who was on our schedule. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. But, hey, man, let's get to these Cowboys. Let's get to this Cowboy news, man. We only got about an hour of your time. Hey, before we get to it, though, make sure you guys share. Let me get a go live. There we go, yeah. I got a gang of people on here. Let me see what it is. Let me find you. Boss Cowboy should be letting you up in the stream right now. All right, let me turn this down. I think you got to put your headphones on. All right, there we go. Let me get ourselves up. Let me look at myself on Facebook real quick. Hold up.
All right, man. Say, man, it's a lot of work we go through.
All right, there we go. What's up with you, Jizzle, the Don Montana? What up with you, man? Officially the coolest guy with the coolest name on the street feed. What up with you, man? But my boy Reed Butler is right behind you with the second coolest name. What's up with you guys, man? Jonah Hill said I walked into work with my Turner wig on and my Zeke shirt. You know, salute to you, brother. Salute to you, brother. Hey, because you already know when we lose, they're going to be on our head, man. So when we win, you got to take advantage, man. Enjoy your day. You know what I'm talking about? When you at the water cooler of life. Don't let them try to mess you down because we got that dub yesterday, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. We the only people you got to be honest with. Everybody else at work, when they ask you weird questions, man, it don't matter. We won the game. I don't give a dang, man. I don't care about Zeke only having 40-some yards. I ain't caring about that. I'm not caring about the Dallas Cowboys still trying to run Ezekiel. Because you know, Boss Cowboy, you only got to be honest with family, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, you can just, they mind their own damn business. But since we family, we got to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Also, before we talk about that, we got some updates. What's up with y'all, man? We got some updates. I need one of them soundboards so it can be like, you know what I'm saying? But we got some updates. And when I say this, man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I don't want nobody to jump up and down. Man, I'm not going to say that because I don't want, but man, I promise you right now, if you get happy when I say this, you not a good person. All right? And Boss Cowboy, don't you crack no smile when I say this either.
If it ain't funny, I won't. You know that.
This is serious. Anthony Brown's out for the rest of the season, y'all.
Oh, man.
See how? There you go. See, we good, wholesome people. Now, I know a couple of y'all was like, whoa, yeah, but that's not how we want it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know that's not how we want it. But you know what?
Not like that.
I told y'all in California, when you in the grocery store and you see a big old puddle of water and you late on your rent, guess what? The Lord work in mysterious ways. Slap, woo! Sometimes you got to take your blessings. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, this is a guy, Boss Cowboy. I mean, I would only be paraphrasing and talking like this, man, if there was film on it. Boss Cowboy, how many touchdowns did young man give up?
13.
13 touchdowns, man. That's ridiculous.
13.
That's
And total, the most in penalties, the worst year was actually Jones.
So, I mean, this is a guy, man, who was a liability. This is a guy, you know, coverage-wise, you know, I can just think in the games off the top of my head, which Texans game that Hobson played where Hobson just bent him.
Yeah, and on my highlight, I don't even count that.
And then he had, I'm going to tell you the other one. I'm going to tell you another one that pissed me off. That Rams game. No, that was Xavier. Actually, I take that back. That was Xavier Woods who did that.
Yeah.
What was
missed that tackle?
Huh?
Well, no, I can go over many Anthony Browns. I think his worst game by far
probably this year
was the Cardinals game.
Go ahead.
The Cardinals game, because basically he gave up 2 touchdowns. It should have been 3, but the guy was an inch away out of bounds on a toe drag, and he was actually burned 4 times in one game. That one game, like he never should have saw the field again after that. Never. He should have actually got cut after that, you know. But he was one of those guys. You don't want guys to get injured because, you know, he's still a depth player, right? So we want to always to kind of think about, like, even if what have happened to Jordan Lewis, on our team, he still would be a good backup to Jordan Lewis. But in terms of just his ability to play football, you could always even tell when he was in this game because he hurt himself doing exactly what I said he does.
Bro, he hurt himself.
Diving at ankles.
Missing a tackle.
Yeah. And then diving at the ankle. And I said that's what he does. He dives at ankles, regardless of size. My film proved that. He missed a lot of tackles doing that. He actually caused a lot of touchdowns doing that. His instinct was to go low. And the worst part is he's strong as hell. He never had to do that. Like, in terms of an athlete, he probably one of the best athletes on the team. Like, he bench
definitely the
pressed.
fastest. And line them
one
up,
of the fastest for sure, bro.
You
no
line them
doubt.
all up on the team. If you line everybody up in a line and they
He
run,
gonna smoke
Anthony
you.
Brown's gonna smoke all of them.
Smoke. Like,
He
he
gonna
one of
smoke all
those
of
guys that I guarantee if you saw him in high school, he probably was the best athlete where he was from.
In the
By
county,
far.
probably in the county. too.
Like he one of them guys that'll line up in 100 and just be pretty, just he'll run a 10, like 10-5 and make it look easy, right? So, like, when you look at him specimen-wise, I can see why you always get tempted to want to play him. But at the same time, when you put on those pads, it's how you play football, not how you run in shorts.
Yeah, man. I think he ran like a 4.3, something ridiculous. I know he was the second fastest overall. When he came in the draft in 2016, he was the second fastest overall player in the entire draft. But that's out of wide receivers, running backs, all DBs. He was the second fastest person in the entire draft. So that's why I said.
No, he can roll. And then you know what's also underrated on him real quick, West Coast? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
He bench pressed 225 19 times. That's not bad for his height weight ratio. That's strong, bro. Like, you know, what game was that he scooped? Oh, it was Miami game. Remember he scooped that little receiver and dunked him like easy, like boom. It's like that's what you should have been doing, man. But like Lewis ain't even close to that strong, but he do it every game.
Yeah. So but I mean, with Anthony Brown going out, you know, Jordan Lewis was already getting a bulk of the time. You know, so I mean, who's gonna be my fourth corner? You know, I actually made a video today, and you guys supported that. It's on IG right now, and it's on Facebook. So make sure you guys go watch that. And I kind of gave my tips on who I thought it was and who I think should get the next man up. And I think I'm looking for it to be my boy Donovan Alumba. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see Coach Westry out there, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I still feel that they see him in a developmental role because his utilization in preseason was like they were not trying to put him on the field. You know what I'm saying? With Donovan, they let him play 3 games, and he had the interception, run back for a touchdown in the final game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was coming to this camp not thinking he was gonna make this team, and he made plays at practice, made plays in the game to make, like Boss Cowboy said, he won his freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
So
he won the crowd.
He definitely won the crowd, and he's already, you know what I'm saying. So that's who I would like to see. And he's 6'2", 210 pounds. His 40 was not good. It was like 4. What is it? It was like what is it? It was like about 4.5, like a late 4.5. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty much, is that average or what is that for a corner?
That's good for corner. You serviceable, especially if your technique good. As long as you 4 or 5. Let me see if I can look it up.
But what I really liked about him is, man, like him being on the field, he's probably the only, like, Donovan Alumba is a product of Chris Richard. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Chris Richard was not here, I don't think Donovan Alumba's on his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, Donovan Alumba, and also you guys remember, Donovan wasn't on our team this year. He was actually a Dallas Cowboy last year. You know what I'm saying? We just figured out a very creative way to keep him on the roster. You know what I'm saying?
4.62.
So yeah, that's what I said, 6'2". You know what I'm saying? So
no, 4.62.
4.6. Whoa. But see, I saw one when he was at his pro day. He ran a 4.5 in Portland.
I'm not down it. That's
but
just
I mean, 4.5, 4.6. That's the same to me, to be honest with you. If it was 4.2, 4.3, that's a difference.
Yeah, and then
4.5, 4.6, that's the same number.
And game speed is real.
Yeah,
game speed is real. But so it is a such thing as putting too much stock in 40s, especially when you see people that have tape that say game speed.
Somebody said, Curtis says that Tavon Austin is the fastest player on the team. No, he's not. No, he's not. The fastest person on our team is Anthony Brown. And I'm going to be honest with you.
And then they also, I think Goodwin is low-key the fastest too, because when the DBs always talk,
not
when they
Austin.
talk about speed, they always kind of say Goodwin. And they all do it kind of like he done burnt us enough, kind of, you know when you've been racing guys and they continue to win, you know what I mean? But it's between Anthony Brown and Godwin.
Yeah. But yeah, just looking at some of these comments, we got the normal Jeff Heath is trash. I hope AB pulls through. I hope he plays through too. Jeff Heath is another subdivision name too. Lewis doing his thing. Lewis has been doing his thing for a minute now.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those were kind of like the updates as far as we had Anthony Brown. What else did we have happen today? I actually let me pull out my little notes real quick. That stuff I wanted to go over. We had AB.
But then while you talking about that, looking at your notes, another guy to bring up is Chris Wellstreet, because he's a legit 4-3. And, I was able to observe Alumba as well as Chris Wellstreet at practice. And I can tell you right now, the two guys that dominated on the line of scrimmage was both of those guys. Except Chris has more speed. Like, he has pure speed. I think Alumba plays a little bit of a better football, especially on tackling. But
Chris
if it's any guy, and then Chris Wellstreet's so big, bro.
Yeah,
he big, and like when you see him out there, bro. Like so just imagine what we all just witnessed Cobb do. Right now, I'm sitting at practice and I watched Chris Wellstreet multiple times not even let Cobb get off the line of scrimmage. Now just think about that. He couldn't get off the line. And I'm sitting there watching. Like, damn. Like, and I played the position. When you able to keep a receiver from even getting off the line, that's beyond domination. That's owning. That's almost like, I don't want to say the word, but some things shouldn't happen unless another man is stronger than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what he did. And it was amazing to see, bro. But the people that was doing that was the Chris Richard types.
Yeah.
And it was both of them. I was there the whole practice and watching their one-on-ones. And when it's one-on-one, the receivers got the whole field that they can work with.
Yeah. No
help, nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and I even told Alumba, I said, man, you grinding. And he looked up like, I'm like, I see you. So it would be out of those two guys.
Another thing, I'm going to tell you another thing I like about, having longer hams is like when you're at the point of attack, right? when you're
Yeah.
on the line, right, and a lot wide
Yeah.
receivers getting off the line, and you have 5 yards to touch him. If you have long arms, you can almost turn that 5 yards into like 7. Why? Because
Yeah.
he's 5 yards off, but then you can still be touching him 2 yards behind. You know what I'm saying? Almost a yard and a half. Why? Because of your long arms. And
Yeah.
when someone's moving, it's like a baby. You know what I'm saying? You kind of keep your hands like this to keep them inside your range right here. Well, if your range is longer, that means he's gonna have to create more steps, or he's gonna have to just sheer engage you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You try to get off the line, and I'm gonna be honest with you, wide receivers don't want to engage. Why? Because they know if they don't get off the line in the time, that quarterback's gonna look. Nope, he ain't getting off the line. Who's number 2? You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? They just and what they say in defense, we play DB, rerouting is what? Good defense.
Yeah, and it's another thing that a lot of people I don't think take into account when you're dealing with those long, rangy corners like a Lumber, like Chris Westry. They can almost be beat with a foot of space and still make the play because like people
Absolutely.
say catch radius. People say catch radius. I think people need to start saying defensive cornerback radius too.
Absolutely.
Because
Explain that a little
when
more.
you have long arms, the ball you can appear beat, but you can still make the play because you long, literally. Like because that ball and the velocity of the ball still have to go above you. So if I'm just 5'11", that's gonna be kind of easier to get that ball over me. But if a quarterback got to throw over somebody that's 6'4" and 6'3", like a Lumber and Westry is, that's a whole nother thing. And that's another reason why you can have a cornerback like Sherman, who's known to be a turtle. His combine showed he's a turtle, but it's still hard to burn him, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to burn him. So, like, when you look at that throw that when he won the Super Bowl against Crabtree had a step on him. But it's hard to throw over somebody 6'3", 6'4".
And he was beat, too. And the infamous picture of Richard Sherman is Richard Sherman. He's literally laid out like this. Y'all know the picture of Richard Sherman when the Seahawks tried to go that fade route to Crabtree, and Crabtree flat out got him off the line, and he was open in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he was open.
And
Yeah.
Richard Sherman,
A smaller
flat
corner
out
loses.
like Richard Sherman is literally like this, and you know what it was? That long frame of his that was able to get to that high point of the ball. And what did he do? He didn't even have enough to intercept it, but it was just enough for him to what? Tip the ball to
Tip it to the linebacker. Yep.
Oh, was it Bobby Wagner that got it? I think it was Bobby Wagner, right?
It was Wag. I think it was Wag. It was one of those linebackers.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and we call that the tip drill. You know what I'm saying? But I
Tip drill.
mean, there's so much you can do with those long arms, man. Just rerouting, just, you know what I'm saying, keeping a guy in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I favor Alumba. Why? Because I think Alumba's more pro ready. Why? Because even when you don't play that year in a program, you're practicing against pro level wide receivers each and every day. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now.
And the benefit of a Lumber too is what you're getting out of Lumber. He's hungry, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He's hungry.
Remember his interview when he was mad because he should have had an interception against the Rams game. And
man, he would have had to be Odell Beckham to catch that, but he still challenged himself like I should have caught that.
Exactly, and that's what I like about. And you're absolutely right. He was
a grinder, bro. Like he sleep at the facility. He one of those guys, you know. So he's almost like a Dak Prescott, to where they just workers. You know, they love the game and they always working on their craft. He's a quiet Dak Prescott type, to where I live and die and I breathe for this game.
Yeah.
That's a Lumber. You know, so it's like guys like that, you also want to reward, just to be honest. Because one of the strongest points you ever made, which I hated about while we were seeing this competition with Anthony Brown and Lewis again, one of the most powerful things you said this year to me, West Coast, is you was talking about the penalty that happened with Tristan Hill and Antoine Woods, and you said, I see how fast the team is on, punishing. But we also want to see how good you are rewarding people that play well and work hard. And that was one of the most powerful things that you said. And, Alumba is that guy.
It has to go both ways. It has to go both ways.
Right.
Like, it has to go both ways.
And then somebody said, what's up with Devin Smith? I don't know, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, like, that's another one of those Dallas Cowboy political mysteries that I just don't understand. I think it's one of those Mortimer Rudolph from Trading Places, bet $1, where somebody's at the higher level betting on one of these guys and they putting their thumb on the scale.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's like, I almost want to say, like, I don't, it's weird, man, because to think that your second receivers, right, had 149 yards and your third receiver had 100 yards and your fourth option could be a former second-round pick who only is available because he had 2 ACL injuries. And this is the thing I love about people who only have injury problems. Injury problems is like having money problems. Want to know why, Boss Cowboy? Because I either got it or I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't got it, guess what? I'm balling. Adrian Peterson, I'm balling. Only reason why Adrian Peterson declined is because he's hurt. That's it. Tony Romo, only reason why he declined is because he's hurt. That's it. Being hurt is his decline. But guess what? When he hurt. He can't play. That is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't mind players with that stickler. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, honestly, it makes me okay with a Sean Lee. Now, when Sean Lee start bouncing on folks like pinballs, that's when I be having a problem. And I see how your neck turned. I know I hit a nerve when I said that. You know what I'm saying? I love my boy Sean Lee, but he's not as, I don't know. You can't really gauge consistency, but my boy Sean Lee just has end of the spectrum type games where I'm like, he has a game where he just looked like Sean Lee just running down the street with his shirt off, beating people with baseball bats, just a monster. Then he has games where you're like, wait, time out. You said this, who? How much money did we pay him? Why is he still on the field?
Yeah, man.
Like, he can't ever have, like, middle medium. You know what I'm talking about, boss? Like,
man.
Like, how you go from God to like, why are you on the field in one game?
I'm glad you brought up linebackers. I'm gonna turn the corner on cornerbacks.
All right, we're gonna go straight into. We're gonna go. Hey, I know y'all already know what it is. We always tell you this is a living show. So even though we may hit some of the subjects, we'll hit it. Yeah, y'all know how I be, man. Talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you really want us to talk about a subject, put it in the comments and we got it. Other than that, man, this is a freestyle battle rap of Dallas Cowboys and we own it, man. So we about to jump right into
so going back to like the linebackers, man.
Let's talk about the linebackers.
Yeah, like one of the things, man, that I always say, and if you watch closely, you'll see this pattern.
What you see?
You judge coaches by the group. Mm-hmm. You judge players by the individual. Mm-hmm. So when you see the caliber of guys that we drafted and the resumes of guys that we have in that linebacker room, and I think we can all honestly say that it's a regression. And not just Sean Lee, who's been awesome for a while.
Where the hell LVE at? Where the Wolf at? I ain't heard the Wolf.
LVE is an obvious regression, man. And the regression also is not just on play, but it also looks like the regression is on play recognition.
Ooh.
Play recognition.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And you see it from Jalen. Like, even on that hit that Jalen, laid that guy out this game.
He waited for a moment.
He was late on that read, man.
Yeah, he was. I saw that too.
Yeah, he was late on that read. And so when you start seeing...
He probably would have sacked the quarterback if he reads it. If he reads it when he's supposed to read it, he probably sacks the quarterback. He does.
Yeah, they late.
Not to cut you off,
they backpedaling a lot when they getting ran at.
Yeah, remember what Jamal Adams did to us? How he just shot the gap and like it was so free. Dak didn't have. He couldn't. There was nothing Dak could have did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It
would have been one of those plays.
So I was saying all that to say this, man. And I was thinking about this. I said, when was Dallas able to kind of get linebackers out the trash and they still ball? Like Durant, like Carter, right? And then like Hitchens. And I'm not calling them trash.
Remember Rolando McClain? He retired twice.
Right. But what was the common denominator that we had where we had a consistent run of good linebacker play?
Yeah, I want to say this answer, but I want to see how are we really on the right? Are we really on the same like wavelength? You know what I'm saying? Matt Eberflus?
Oh, yep, that's the straight wavelength, brother. Because all you got to go do is go look at the coach linebackers. Matt Eberflus is
the coach who was coaching those guys. That's why I love doing shows with you, boss, man. I'm serious, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, and so it's like, it was almost like when we had all those hamstring injuries in 2017. right?
Yep, Matt Eberflus was just to give you some insight, Matt Eberflus was the former Dallas Cowboy linebacker coach. He took a job over in Indianapolis to be their linebacking coach. And first thing he does is draft Darius Lillard. And oh my God, he's kind of not. I'm not saying he's having an off year, but he's not having as good as a year as he did last year, which was just like ridiculous world class. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Darius Lillard is one of the first guys. Just give you some history. Back in the day, there was this old little man. They went, oh, he was a young little man. You look so cute, little baby. And he was on the internet talking about Darius Lillard was gonna be this good linebacker. He was just way back in the day. Had a little cut, go by the name of Boss, or back then I think he was just going by Marcus back then. You weren't even going by Boss, and that was one of the first times I saw something from Boss Cowboy talking about a draft pick or something. It was on Darius Lillard, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he ended up being an All-Pro. So salute to you on that.
And I got trolled on that prediction too. I ain't gonna never forget. I was in this group. I can't remember the name of it,
but
War
it was some group. We was in the War Room.
It was the War Room. Okay, that was it.
Yeah, it's a Cowboy. It's a Cowboy room that won't share my content and your content. That's weird, right? Like, can you know that there are groups on the internet that will not allow my videos and Boss Cowboy videos in it? One of them's called the War Room. I'm just being real with you. That is not an attack on them. That is an actual fact.
Yeah, but so I was in there and I got trolled for that. That's what happened. I got trolled for that. It was, because I put
can't be right too many times in a row. That's what I learned about in life. You can't be right too many times in a row.
It was very unpopular to put Darius Leonard as your number one prospect because nobody was saying it. But I was always where I just basically was independent, and I just believed what my eyes saw. I was like, man, I just see a dog in him, and he was the leader of the men in the Senior Bowl. Just all the signs said that he was going to be a baller. And I said, man, I'm putting him at the top on my list. And at that time, Raekwon was there. Everybody was Raekwon. And I was like, I didn't like Raekwon because Raekwon, he had the athleticism. But what you would see is I would see anchor. I call them anchor tackles. And that's where you basically tackle somebody and you let your body weight kind of bring them down. And I said, that's not going to work in the league. Not with guys like Zeke. They're going to run through you. But anyway. Yeah, but the bigger point was about Eberflus. And so it's almost like if I'm looking at this season, I'm also looking at things that we need to bring in and people we need to bring in to take our assets to another level. Just like Kidner, came in and his job was to do what? Take somebody who already had the talent but make them a little bit better, right? Yeah. Dak Prescott. And I'm not just analyzing players, it's also up to us to analyze coaches, right? And their impact. And so when you look at the fact that all our linebackers have really kind of regressed, and we'll talk about, somebody asked what's our thoughts on the Patriots. We're going to talk about that. But when you see how the linebackers regress, you're like, nah, we got to bring in a new coach, man, because Jalen is really a top 5 pick when healthy. Think about that. Top 5. You know what I mean? And then you got basically either all former All-Pros in Sean Lee, first round, LVE, and a top 5 in Jalen. But we supposed to have the best linebacking crew in the whole out of all teams. Yeah. And we're not seeing it. So, and I'm not saying they bad guys. I just think they're a little bit of step behind. And I think if you get a coach that can get them to see and recognize quick and react.
Yeah, and my thing also is this with them too. The Dallas Cowboys, like the same. That was like my biggest pundit against the Dallas Cowboys last night, where I was like, Jerry Jones, if Dak Prescott's going to be your quarterback, you need to take responsibility of the things that he's not good at, and you need to go get a coach and fix those things. Like that's what, like if you have a product and that product's not working the way you're supposed to, and I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying, if you have a product and that product's not doing what it needs to do, what do? You go get somebody to fix your product so you can sell it, and so it can be a more successful product. And that's where I was beating the drum on Jerry Jones take ownership. Well, guess what? Now you need to take ownership on these linebackers. Why? Because, bro, you just gave one $60 million. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to give another one probably $80 million in about 2.5 years. Don't you want these guys to elevate and get to that point of so that you understand what you're paying? Like, let's just be real, man. Like, LVE in 2 years, if he stays on the trajectory that he's on, probably he's going to get the contract Jalen Smith should have got. You know what I'm saying? That $90 million contract. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's going to have all those intangible things. And he does not have and he does not have the injury clause where you could throw that at Jalen Smith. You know what I'm saying? I think they kind of use that with Jalen. Why? Because the exact same thing you always say. You know what I'm saying? When you've experienced a really hard loss, it's really hard to walk away from a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why insurance companies sell the best flood insurance when right after a flood. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, I kill flood after floods.
Yeah, like, and that's just being real. That's just how it works.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You wait
That's
for
really
the
how it works.
opportunity to
After
come.
tragedy, people
So I
be
mean,
very serious.
and LVE doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say like this. You know, I mean, I thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to be put in a situation where they could lose one, but they actually played it smart by getting Jalen Smith to sign early and sign cheaper. So what? So hopefully you can get LVE on a good deal. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't see for LVE, I don't see him taking no ridiculous deal. But that's neither here or there. But what I say is this. The Dallas Cowboys, the type of money and the resources that you have invested in the linebacker position, you cannot just be trusting in Sean Lee to be your player and your coach. No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's what they're doing. Just like I also believe that they're also trusting that Jason Witten is going to be their player and their coach. No, you still need a dude that just coaches and does their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, because who coaches the guy that's supposed to be perfect on every play? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then even just kind of talking about the hot balls versus the lines, which is your third bullet. I mean, we can kind of tackle that a little bit because we're doing a small recap because this is also to get us prepared for our analysis of New England. One thing that I'm looking at and that I always do during the season is I'm always trying to assess draft needs even during the season, right? And so you kind of get a feel of need based on the play of our current players. And one of the things that's becoming more and more obvious, we definitely need a DT. Now, I'm hearing a whole lot of people say safety. No, not in my opinion. Not when you're looking at the play of Tank and Quinn and the fact that both of them are facing crazy doubles. Like right now, that means that your DTs are getting a lot of one-on-one, so they should be really, 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 really acting a fool right now, right? And obviously, I love Bennett and after three technique, but I think we need a little bit more beside him, right? And rotating with Antoine Woods and possibly Malik Collins. And, and I've been actually studying the draft already, and I'm knowing if we decide to target a DT in the first, it's almost like we can't miss because it's at least 4 to 5 that's instant impactors this time.
I love how you said this time.
Because every draft is different. You know what I mean? Some drafts it might be 1 or 2, and it's not going to have the depth, in talent. So you got to go ahead and get them now. On this draft, you or go up and get them. But in this draft, you're going to literally be able to sit, and it's going to fall to you.
Yeah. I mean, my thoughts on the Hot Boys versus the Lions, man, is this: that the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think the offense helped them out in the first series. Why? Because you fumbled the ball in the second play of the game. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of already kind of put them in distress. You know what I'm saying? So, I think for the most part, man, after that, there were some parts in the game where the Dallas Cowboys had some failures. But I still feel like, you either have games where your defensive line plays well and your back end don't play good, or you have games where your back end plays better and your defensive line. We still have really, like you said the other day, we still have really haven't been able to see that full day where our defense all together kind of plays well. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I did like to see about this game is, man, for the most part, man, the defense, I would have liked them to be at that 19 points that they were at last year, but that we were at last year. But it looks we're really around about 23, 24 points. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, Our offense is gonna have to score 30 points, bruh. Like, if our game plan is not designed to score 30 points, then even when we go into New England, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys, my formula for winning this New England game is running the ball. You know what I'm saying? The only people who beat them, I'm going to give you guys a power stat right now. The only team that has beat this New England team, you know what they did? They threw the ball 23 times, and they ran the ball 44 times. The running back ran the ball 15 times. The quarterback ran the ball 16 times. They had another dude run the ball 6 times. They had another dude run the ball 4 times. 5 times.
You talking about the Ravens?
Yeah, Ravens. They threw the ball 23 times and ran the ball 43 times, and they beat them by 17. and the game
They
was out of
owned them
hand
on
by
the
the
ground.
fourth quarter. Huh?
Owned them. They owned them on the ground.
Yeah, and then think about this: the next realistic game that they put, that the next game that I'm looking at, also Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. Go look at that game. Go look at that game. They rushed over. It was like right at about 100 and something yards for that game. But think about this: they also threw 3 interceptions. How do you throw 3 interceptions
And then a close game
and only lose by 6?
Yeah.
And that wasn't a touchdown. That was 2 field goals. You know why? Because they was running the ball on them. So even with them, their defense getting the turnovers, they were still able to run the ball on them and still keep the game close. And to be honest with you, that's a typical Dallas Cowboy game. Like what you say, boss, this should almost be a Scott Linehan game. Oh my God!
Yeah, I mean, like, and what I mean by that, because I told him that off air. I told him that off air.
I know. Explain to Scott Linehan.
People been asking for us to talk about New England, so we'll kind of get into it.
Well, everything that we're talking about is actually about New England.
It's really gearing up for New England, so we just kind of did an analysis first to catch us up to the strategy in New England. When I look at New England, you want a Scott Linehan type of game, like a conservative type of game, more so out of the respect of their corners. I'm going to say this, I don't think I've ever witnessed a DB group this good, bro, together. Like, obviously, there have been groups that have been outstanding, like San Fran when they had Dion, right? And like Dallas when they had Woodson and Dion. But it never was 4. You know what I mean? This is the best 4 I've ever witnessed, bro. So what I mean is Dak is going to be throwing in the tight windows, like the tightest windows ever. So this is the game.
But mind you, it's going to be 20 degrees, and it is going to be a 40 headwind going one way. So that means
based on the projection,
because I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Me and Boss Cowboy actually started talking about New England yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all was like, we want to talk about New England, bro. We've been talking about New England since yesterday, and this morning I googled the weather. So it's gonna be a 40 wind south by southwest. So you know what that means in football? That means when I'm going this way, every time I throw the ball, it's going 3 feet farther than what I throw it. So that means I'm going to have to do what? Take a little bit off of it. And then guess what? When I'm going this way, you know what that means? That means that there's going to be a 12th man on the field. Why? Because when I throw the ball, there is a chance that ball might get caught in the air. You got to be cognizant of that. And I'm gonna tell you what something else is gonna be important. That goddamn that coin flip. That coin flip gonna be even more important. You wanna know why? Because you get to determine which way you want to go. Tony P might even get some chance to return some balls in this game too. Because with that type of headwind, you're not putting those in the end zone unless you're kicking with it. If you're kicking with it, the ball's going in the stands every single time.
But you're going against it every single time. It's gonna be a returnable ball.
If it's going the opposite way, it's going to be returnable.
Yeah, if it's going against the wind, it's going to be a returnable ball.
Returnable.
It's going to be a drag on the ball.
And punts. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that, boss. Punts.
Same thing with punts. Yeah, you go like it depends. So you go, your punter does he kick it high or does he line drive it? Like all of that. Because I play golf, and like when you play golf, you always factor in wind.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh my God, and boss, you know
so
what?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with this game. So, but I still say with the Scott Linehan approach with those tight windows that Dak is going to have to throw in. What I'm saying is, a lot of us, we want Dak to be a low key Romo. Like we like let it rip, Dak. We want you to let it rip. But see, one thing I've always kept in mind, Bowen was winning.
Yeah.
Bowen was winning. Like, so in some games, Bowen is your best plan, right? Yeah. And I want Dak to be safe this game. I want him to be cautious this game because if he's on some let it rip stuff, you might as well get ready for about 1 or 2 potential interceptions.
Yeah.
Because this team is good like that. And then, so that's definitely one of the things that we got to definitely look at in terms of Scott Linehan approach. And then another thing that I think is just as important, even with the win, you still got to test them vertically at least 4 times. Actually going for it.
Yeah, and also And also something I just thought of too, also with that win, something you got to be cognizant of also is when you receive the kick, you want to actually give them the win to start off wide. The reason why you want to give them the win is because you got to remember every quarter they're gonna switch sides, right? So in the fourth quarter, you want to make sure that wind is with your what? Kicker.
Your kicker. Yep.
You want to make sure that your kicker is kicking with the wind. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that kickoff,
and you want Dak throwing with the wind.
Yes, and that'll also mean that in the fourth quarter, Dak's throwing with the wind and not against it. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, I mean, I'm just being real. If you're down, that stuff matters.
Yep. And then honestly, you can almost anticipate being down if you're an honest assessment of your own team.
New England, hell yeah.
And your own team. So from this standpoint, we all know for different reasons we start slow. They not always the same reason, but we start slow. But it's one thing that also people got to keep in mind that I know for a fact because I just looked this up. Guess who number one in points in the first quarter?
Oh, New England Patriots.
New England Patriots. And so that also goes into superior coaching. Why? Because generally when you're in the first quarter, you're going through your scripts.
Yeah, this is what you script. This is what you
script. So that this is almost like a pre-planned way of attack before the flow of the game kick in, right? So that means if you think about it, New England is the best at assessing a defense's weaknesses and executing it early.
Yeah.
If you really break down what that means, so that they're going to have us fully understood. They're going to know. They playing politics in the nickel with Anthony Brown versus Lewis, even though I'm just using that as an example. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're the type of team that would go right at that. You know what I mean? Like no hesitation, right? They would go in and say, LVE is struggling. We're going right at that. And they'll have different ways of attacking your linebackers, especially with White.
One thing about New England, too, is they know Bill Belichick, since he's a defensive-minded guy, he is very good at breaking a team down and making it look like 11 individuals. You know what I'm saying? And it's because Bill will know that guy has a problem with this, so we're going to do that with him. This guy has a problem with that, so we're going to do this to him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why a lot of people say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the freaking Lane Johnson said, sounds like in the Patriots, not a very fun environment. It's like, who the hell is if you're fun, if you're winning if you got 6 championships, like, get your priorities together. But it makes sense. And it also makes sense why people say that, when you go to New England, you got to be smart. But I think at the same time, you got to be smart, but I think you got to be receptive to what's going on, because think about this. Randy Moss was labeled a dumb player, but he looked pretty damn good when they was going 19-0, and he led the NFL in touchdowns. For one of the first times in his career. You know what I'm saying? So there's something about that system where people go there in that system, man, and their elite talent looks better. Like Collins looks better than what he was when they drafted him.
Yeah. And
he's a better player now.
Yeah, he's humble.
That's the linebacker we're talking about.
Yeah, he was traded to the Browns, and now he's back and playing even better.
They drafted him. Say that again.
Yeah, drafted him.
They drafted him.
Loved him.
Traded him away in the night, because they traded him away kind of shady too, and he was mad when they traded him
because he was looking to get paid.
And they traded him in the dark.
They was like, they was like your backup is just as good, kind of like a Romo versus Dak type of thing.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying that at the beginning Dak was Romo, but I'm just saying he was close enough for you to be like, y'all close enough. One of y'all gonna cost me $16 million, the other y'all costing me $600,000. I'm going with that.
$18 million.
And so that's what they did. They unloaded Collins, and he's back now, but he's almost their best player.
They traded him to Cleveland, got the draft picks, used the draft picks, waited till Collins became a free agent, picked him up, and now he's their best player.
I want to address a real good question.
Shoot.
Lion Shell Instagram said this. I'm not sure our O-line is physical enough to play that game with New England. He's talking about the Scott Linehan game. Score and make 2 big stops should win us the game. I absolutely agree. Because, see, a lot of people think I'm saying when I say Scott Linehan that I want us to remain in a kind of like low drive, slow drive type of attempts at attacking their defense. My strategy is this. Don't even try to outsmart a team that's proven to be smarter than everybody, right? I think what you do with a team like this is you out-athlete this team. So the way that you do that is you protect the football, but you take your strikes. Don't try to get Gallup, Cobb, Cooper to kind of methodically go downfield. You want to try to hit them with those Philly plays, and that's what Dak is good at. And I want us to do it suddenly, meaning we looking like we in the Scott Linehan boring run Zeke on first, right? You know, and kind of methodically going along, and then all of a sudden strike them. And I want us to do that 4 times. That way you depending on your athletes. You're not depending on coaching strategy to beat this team. Because if you just honest, you know, and I know, when it comes down to team discipline, they have the edge. Yeah. So to try to slow a game down is actually playing into their hands. Because a slowed down game, we're going to be the ones that's going to likely get the holding call, right? You know what I mean? Because that's what we do versus they don't. So we'll be in a tight game a lot of times playing behind the chains on things that we caused if we stay conservative. So I'm saying run a conservative offense, but already have predetermined in your plan to try to hit them quick occasionally.
Yeah, and this is the thing also about New England is you also got to take in consideration them being down doesn't mean anything to them. Like they have been down so many times and have been successful. Like being down is not going to mean anything to them. So that's why, you know, starting fast is going to obviously be something that you want to do, but it's not necessarily be even starting fast. Like the Dallas Cowboys, we want to start out productive. You know what I'm saying? And when you earn the right to get in the New England Patriots red zone, because that's what you're basically doing, you got to score, man. Like, there cannot be any walking away from this team without scoring. But I am going to tell you this, man. Dak Prescott with his feet will turn this game upside down.
Yeah, we need his feet this game.
I'm going to tell you right now, Dak Prescott running with his feet will tear this game upside down. Why? Because this team is living for the turnover. They're living for you to make a mistake so they can pounce on it. I literally saw this defense get their hands on the ball. Me and Boss, I'm watching like, bro, these dudes, I just saw 4 different dudes get their hands on a football within 3.5 minutes of the game. I'm up here back asking myself, why are Philadelphia still throwing the ball? Like Carson Wentz, 20 for 40. 20 of them passes out of the 20. Like, how do you have 20 misses in a game? That's ridiculous. 20. Then 9 of the passes went to the tight end. You know what I'm saying? But you paid him. That means 11 other passes went to other places. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, bro, they know, like, they had a D tackle almost intercept the ball. I'm like, they knew, like, they're thriving off. I'm like, why won't y'all run the ball? You're only down by 6. Like, what are you doing? And you're at home.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. And see, one thing I think, because I'm, like I always say, I'm big on patterns. One of the things that I also know about us and our linebackers, we play good when we hunting. When we got you circled on the calendar, we come out way
Saints
different.
Game.
Yep, the Saints game this year, we had them boys circled on the calendar. Jalen and LVE showed up. It was no doubt. They showed up. What other game did they show up?
Holding the 13 points at home.
Yep, Philly. And so I have a feeling like we going to come out with this game, defense not going to be chumps this game. The only place I think we might be susceptible is in the nickel.
Yeah, and it's crazy because our defense, in all actuality, like, and it's crazy. That's the thing about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they will actually overlook and lose to a unsuperior team, and then go out there and play the best game of their life and beat the New England Patriots or beat the dang Saints. You know what I'm saying? At home. You know, holding up. Remember
we beat the Saints.
You gotta remember, when we beat the Saints, we took a 36-point team down to what, 10?
Yeah. Yeah. And even in that L that we took to Green Bay, man, that ain't no bad L, bro. Like it was bad because of discipline, but in terms of how we fought in that game, Bro, that game was a dogfight all the way to the end, bro. Like the way that they had that lead on us, most teams would have laid down like the Texans did. Man, it was no lay down, bro. So like we turned it on. You know, now that was a game my linebackers did fold. That is one game where our linebackers fold, you know. And this game has the capability to be similar to what Green Bay did with Jones, because White is that type of running back where he can catch and he can run, you know. So this game is really almost going to come down to linebacker play and our ability to score.
And our defense, boss, they got to recognize when somebody's getting off and go send someone to shut him down. Like, you know how somebody going off and the coach be like, hey, come here. They grab you by your face mask because they want to tell you something they don't want nobody else telling. They get you by your face mask.
Yeah.
14, shut that down. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying hurt him, but we saying shut that down. We recognize this person is a threat. Do something about him. I'm going to be honest with you. That's something we did not do in that Minnesota game. Bro, Dalvin Cook was rushing on us and passing the game. Nobody thought, oh, my God, Alvin Kamara. What do we do when we play Alvin Kamara? Jordan Lewis, come on, bring your little afro over here. Hey, get on him, please. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Give us a chance. Aaron, we didn't do the same thing. Look about the Green Bay game. One person, Aaron Rodgers didn't beat us. Aaron Rodgers threw like 25 passes. Aaron Rodgers didn't beat us. Aaron Jones beat us.
He got credit, but he didn't beat us. Jones beat us.
Jones beat us.
Right.
And we never at any time said we have a stopper. We have a Bruce Bowen, the Kobe stopper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
We have that guy who will frustrate players. Use him.
And another thing, man, to me that you got to know about New England, there's nobody that's better than closing our games.
Nope.
Like,
that's
for
what they
real.
do for a living, bruh.
I mean, they close our game, so your in-game strategy have to be a focus, right? You have to really kind of maybe even go through a simulator. I mean, I hope Jason Garrett spent a whole bunch of hours this week kind of on a Madden simulator, because in different situations, you got to be ready on how they go counter, because one of the things about them is, and how you, especially in my piece, you attack them, is if it comes down to it, you got to get aggressive on Brady. I think that's one of the things you got to do, especially in the end, because I think how Brady usually beat teams, they get conservative. Right when it's time to put Brady away, they get scared and say, okay, let's zone up and let's try to keep everything in front of us. That's the wrong thing to do to a vet like Brady, because there's no defense that he's not going to recognize. There's not no zone that he's not going to pick apart. He going to pick apart every zone like you going after your kids. It's easy work. It's going to be like, y'all can't get away from me. Y'all kids, I'm grown. You know what I mean? You can't get away.
Romo, bro, so he sees that crap, bro. Like,
he sees it. Yeah, he sees it. So the only way you beat a guy like Brady is you got to beat a bully going right at a bully. So I think
put him on the ground.
Yeah, put him on the ground, make him to where he can't get that ball out quick by challenging all his weapons. You got to be willing to let him beat you deep, to beat him, in my opinion. Especially with his arm looking like it's going out, there's no better time to challenge him personally than now in his career, where you say, okay, we're not going to give you that easy leak out to White. We're not going to give you that. We're not going to give you the easy one to Edelman. It's going to be bump. We're going to be bumping you in crunch time.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, statistically, this is probably the worst. And it's hard to say this because Tom Brady's not playing good. I mean, he's not playing good, but he's not playing bad. He's not playing bad.
He's not playing up to himself.
But this is probably the worst version of Tom Brady that the NFL's seen in probably 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I say worst, bro. I say this the worst ever.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if this defense was not doing what they were doing, like, they had a really easy season to start off. But if you go look at these games, like, if this defense wasn't averaging an interception a game, like, think about this. It took you 3 interceptions to beat the goddamn Bills. And you still came down to a kick. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, one of my main points in this game, in this New England game, honestly, bro, is we gotta give them the win. Basically, man, we gotta give them the win. It gotta be on that side, because I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I know Boss Cap. I mean, it might be above, but what I really see is Brett Mayer having to make us a kick, man. That's just what I see, man. I see Brett Mayer having to make
and you
us
know
a kick.
what? I feel like this. It's two scenarios that's gonna tell me if we go dog New England or it's gonna come down to that. If Dak can throw, we go dog them, bro. If those windows are real tight and looking like the first series was looking with Detroit, it's gonna come down to a Mayer type of situation. And because I mean, Willie on your page, man, he raised an excellent point, bro. I think one of the comments of the show from Willie really said one of the things about Tom Brady is he loved to step up in the pocket. So your D tackles got to be guys that's collapsing this week. Excellent point, man. And that brings me to Bennett. This is also a revenge game for Bennett. Keep that in mind. I think Bennett should start this game. He should be like out there a lot because it's personal to him. You know what I mean? And when you got him as the key to your point, really, as the best on our team currently, as far as a pass disruptor and person that can pressure, that's the answer for this game, Bennett. Because especially how teams now and the weakness of the line of New England, they're going to more than likely still try to put a lot of focus on Quinn and Tank. That's going to open it up for Bennett. So, yeah, to your point, this game going to come down to, are we willing to get dog aggressive on Brady? And to me, the teams, from what I've been watching, that have been having success against this offense and limited them to little points, are teams that's willing to get in their face.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, man. That's why the Dallas Cowboys, and another thing, man, it cannot be a moment where you're not thinking to score. Like, this is not a game. This is a game where your objective needs to be to score. And I know people are like, well, yeah, West Coast, that's what they're trying to do every time. Not so much. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it feels like we're just trying to stay involved in games so that Dak can win it for us in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest with you, like, this needs to be an equal collaborative event. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be a team. Like, you're going to, if the Dallas Cowboys can pull this win off, you're going to hear stuff like, this was a team win. This was a great team achievement for the Dallas Cowboys, because it's going to take all facets of your team to go into New England and get this win, man, because I'm going to be honest with you, man, they see a lot of good quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So him going in there, lighting them up for 400 yards, I mean, even though I don't know if that's something that's going to be doable, especially in the weather alone, you know what I'm saying? But it's just not something that you wouldn't be going into this game saying, I want to throw into that buzzsaw. I want to see if Dak can beat that buzzsaw. No, that's not what it should be about. And I know that might not be what Dallas wants. Why? Because the Dallas Cowboys and their management, they want to see Dak beat Tom. They want to see Dak beat Tom. Even though they'll never be on the field at the exact same time together. So technically he never actually beats Tom because he never actually throws against Tom. But whatever. But I know that's what a lot of people want to see. But you got to be prepared and have your mind open to the fact that that's maybe not what you see. Like, this might be a game where Dak only throws for 180 yards, because I'm going to be honest with you, that's all Lamar Jackson had to do. I think it was like 2-something. But I know he only threw the ball 23 times.
The only difference, though, on that West Coast is you have a team with the Ravens that's committed to using Lamar Jackson legs versus we not. And even if Dak was paid, Stephen Jones would whisper down there to Jason Garrett, for sure, don't run that.
Well, they're going to have
Especially
to. Like, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. Last week in Minnesota, we ran 0 times. And guess what? We lost. You know what I'm saying? This week, one of our best games. Think about one of our best games, just randomly. What's the best game that we've ever played with Dak Prescott? I think the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was a pretty good game, right? Dak had 8 carries for 86 yards, bruh. Like, his best games are when he runs the ball. Like, go look at some of his best games. So it's like, Stephen Jones is going to shut up and sit back. And, like, do you really want to win or you not want to win? That's what it's going to have to come to. Like, at some point,
but you know,
we're going to have to get past that.
Those Jones are always mixing in business and football.
I know, but we're going to have to get past that.
And I'm just talking about, I do agree. Like on a game like this, especially when tape says they're weak versus the run, when your quarterback is dual threat and you got a good running back, the tape says do what the Ravens did.
What would Seattle do if Seattle was about to play them? What you think they would do?
They gonna do what worked.
Thank you. And Russell Wilson gonna be out there.
Yeah, they gonna be using Russell Wilson legs, you know. and pound him. They gonna do exactly what worked. And anybody that watched that game, the Ravens beat them handily in a bad game.
Yep.
That was a sloppy game. The Ravens, they almost could have gave it away.
50 on them. They should have put 50.
Yeah, that was a sloppy game. That wasn't where they were just dominant. They was dominant offensively, but the breakdown that game was special teams. The special teams with the Ravens was poor. I think they even lost a punt return and everything. Just stuff that don't.
I know they scored 3 rushing touchdowns. They scored 3 rushing touchdowns on his. They scored 3 rushing touchdowns on his defense. 21 points.
Jay said I would even go jumbo on the Patriots. Collins is day to day, so let's get Looney out there. Looney where?
I know, that's what I say. Looney where? Where y'all trying to put Looney? I mean, I like the offensive line we had out there because Fleming played well. He actually played better over there where La'el Collins was. And my thing is this, La'el Collins. What if La'el Collins comes back and you're like, dang, Fleming, why don't you just stay there, bro? And Collins, why don't you just go to guard, bro? Like, bro, it's working, bro. Why won't we just try it, bro?
I would love it.
And then our running game, because like imagine this. Well, imagine this. Imagine this. Somebody put a post out today, and they said, imagine if the Dallas Cowboys had Dak Prescott 2019 Dak. What if they had 2019 Dak with 2016 Ezekiel Elliott, 2016 Dallas Cowboys offensive line, and 2018 Amari Cooper? I'm like, well, you already got 2018 Amari Cooper. He's pretty damn good right now. Dak is here right now. So the only thing is, like, bro, imagine if our running game, like, bro, almost every game would be a blowout. Like, it would be ridiculous because imagine the yardage and the points you're missing from not being able to move the run ball. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. But, hey, man, we've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes, man. Let them know where they can find you at, boss.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, we're gonna see. Can we see? Can you say a little bass in your voice?
Boss Cowboy Sports. If you heard me, did you hear me? Boss Cowboy Sports.
There we go. Boss Cowboy Sports, and on Instagram because he's only report. I know you got an Instagram and a Twitter, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my Twitter is Cowboy_boss.
Yep, there we go. Gina says keep the great support team on the DCB. I appreciate you. Jenna says, I hope we shut up the chariots and cheat the cheaters out. Johnny says, we're going to play like the Eagles, game lights out. Rob says, run the hurry up. I like it. Play like it's the Super Bowl. Man, you got to get to the Super Bowl before you can play like a Super Bowl. Y'all got to remember, man, like a lot of these kids on our team, they're like 25. So it's like most of these guys, the last time Dallas was even in a Super Bowl, they were like 2. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have better memories of a Super Bowl than they do. You know what I'm saying? I just thought I'd throw that out there. But you guys already know what it is, man. I am your Cowboy cousin, West Coast. You already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My man West Coast in this month.
Thank you for watching West Coast. Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!